All right, today we are diving deep into the worldview of one of history's most profound and honestly mind-bending mystics, Ibn Arabi. He described a reality so interconnected, so beautiful, it can literally change the way you see everything. So let's get right into it.
So let's start with a massive question that sits right at the heart of his entire system. What if the staggering diversity of the universe, everything from stars to stones, from you to me, isn't quite what it seems? What if it's all just the expression of a single, unified reality? It's a huge idea, and it's all grounded in one core statement.
This one sentence, this is the master key. Now, this doesn't mean the world is some kind of illusion. Not at all. It means the world's existence isn't independent. Everything we see is definitely real, but its reality comes from a single, deeper source. If you can really wrap your head around this one concept, his entire vision of the cosmos just opens right up.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll dig into that foundational idea of oneness. Then we'll look at the divine code that creates all this diversity. After that, we'll see why humanity is seen as a unique cosmic mirror. We'll take a trip into a mysterious, imaginal world. And finally, we'll find out what it really means to taste knowledge instead of just thinking about it.
Okay, first stop, we're talking about the absolute bedrock of Ibn Arabi's thought. This is the principle that everything else flows from.
At its core is a concept called wata al-wujud, which translates to the oneness of being. It means there is only one true existence, one wujud, and that is the divine. Everything else, the whole cosmos, isn't separate from that being, but is a manifestation of it. So the crucial point here is that creation isn't some second reality next to the divine. It's just a display of that one single reality.
You know, the classic analogy for this is just perfect. Think about the sun and its countless beams of light. We see them as separate, distinct rays, right? But nobody would argue that those rays are a different reality from the sun itself. They are the sun, just showing up as light. For Ibn Arabi, the universe works in exactly the same way. We are the beams, and that one reality is the sun.
Okay, but that brings up a really big question, right? If being is one, where does all this incredible diversity come from? How does the one become the many? Well, the answer lies in what you could call the universe's hidden divine code.
The process is called Totality, which means self-disclosure, or a shining forth. See, creation wasn't some one-time event that happened billions of years ago. It's a constant, never-ending act of this one reality revealing itself. Every single moment, every object, every event is a fresh Tajalli, a brand new self-disclosure. So how does this self-disclosure actually work? It happens through what are known as the divine names. And listen, these are not just titles. You should think of them more like active principles or even cosmic operators. When you see life emerge, that's the name Al-Muhi, the giver of life in action. When a farmer harvests their crops, that's the activity of Al-Razak, the provider. In this view, the entire cosmos is just this dynamic, incredible interplay of all these divine principles.
And this brings us to a really special place in this whole cosmic drama, humanity. Because in this vast ocean of divine self-disclosure, the human being has a unique and, you could say, privileged position.
So, Ibn Arabi describes the universe as the great man, the macrocosm, but he calls the perfected human being the microcosm. And here's why that's so important. While the universe displays all the divine names scattered across all of creation, the human being has the potential to gather and reflect all of them within one single unified consciousness. We are, in essence, a polished mirror that's capable of reflecting the entire cosmos.
This is Ibn Arabi's deeper, esoteric take on that famous saying, God created Adam in his own form. It's not about physical appearance, not at all. It's about capacity. The human form is the only place in all of creation that is capable of consciously knowing and manifesting the totality of the divine reality. We are the point where the universe itself becomes self-aware.
So how do we actually access these deeper realities? How does the unseen world communicate with the seen world? Well, Ibn Arabi's cosmology has this fascinating in-between realm that acts as a crucial bridge.
He calls it the alam al-mithal, the imaginal world. And this distinction here is absolutely vital. It is imaginal, meaning it's a world of real, perceptible images, not imaginary, which means it's just a fantasy inside our heads. No, this is an objectively real plane of existence, an intermediary world that's more subtle than the physical world, but more concrete than the purely spiritual one.
So what kind of stuff happens in this realm? Well, it's where spiritual meaning takes on a perceptible form. Things like prophetic dreams, visions of angels, even the realities of paradise and hell, all these are said to take place in the imaginal world. Without it, there would be no way for the purely spiritual and the dense physical worlds to ever communicate.
And this leads us to the ultimate purpose of this entire system. Because this isn't just some abstract theory to be understood with your intellect. It's a reality that is meant to be experienced directly.
For Ibn Arabi, the highest form of knowledge is something called voq, which literally means tasting. Think about it. You can read 100 books about honey. You can analyze its chemical composition, but you don't truly know honey until you taste it. Spiritual truth is exactly the same. True knowledge, real gnosis, is a direct, intuitive, and experiential perception of reality that is unveiled to a purified heart.
And this isn't something you can just reason your way into. It's described as a path of spiritual preparation. It starts by polishing that mirror of the heart, which gets it ready for a divine unveiling, or kashf. And this is what moves a person from just believing something is true, the knowledge of certainty, to directly seeing it as true, the eye of certainty. And that kind of knowledge doesn't just inform you, it fundamentally transforms who you are.
So we end right back where we started, with a reflection. If the entire cosmos is the self-disclosure of a single reality, and if the human being is the polished mirror designed to reflect that reality in its totality, then the journey of knowing the universe and of knowing God is ultimately a journey into the depths of ourselves. What does it really mean to look in that mirror? That is the question Ibn Arabi leaves us with.